All right, we're taking a look at the 49ers running wide zone to the tight end side right now, or to the right side, because tight end on both sides right now. So just to give it a quick run through, we get the wide zone, we see the flow, back cuts vertically, and we get a chunk of 12 yards. Right. First of all, this is beautiful. This is for me. This is almost biblical. This is consistent source of offense. The vertical cut, the seam, all that. So let's go through it step by step. First of all. It's not hard to see, where our zone matchups are. We've got a balanced out defense. We got a center guy, a nose. We got three to each side. So there's nothing overly difficult about the assignments right here, right? So just starting with the back, the back's aiming point's going to be 1 by 1 off the tight end. We can see he takes that angle, right? The tight end was just inside that, 2 yards short of the line right now. And we can see that's exactly where McCaffrey is aiming, right at that spot. So that's what we expect. 1 by 1 off the tight end. Real or imaginary is ordinarily the spot on wide zone or outside zone, depending on what term you want to use. After that, if we're going to read that block first, the first thing we're going to see is that the end does jump out. So when the end jumps out and tries to maintain his D-gap leverage, that tells the back, I'm going to press that, but I know I'm not doing this. And this is not the cut we're looking for in outside zone. We're hoping that at some point we can put our foot in the ground and go vertical. That's what we're hoping to do. So that's what we're seeing right now. The end jumps out. Then we're also reading back each block, seeing do they continue to maintain their gap integrity, which is what happens. We can see the linebacker, I think it's Levante David, heading to his front side C gap. Now, some people might say, why are we not making this cut right now? And what's happening is, as McCaffrey reads this first block, he's working back. He's seeing the lateral flow work, and he is 100% okay letting that cross his face and then get behind it, right? If he had tried to make this cut out in front, what he'd be seeing is this guy, and this guy are all on the front side of that block to the play side of that block, and the lineman no longer has leverage, right? We're just reading what leverage the defensive player is letting him take. Now, in some cases, the offensive player is going to make that read for the running back, right? We can see this guy actually stunts into A-gap a little bit, and 77 takes the inside arm and shoves him back into the B gap and actually is trying to prevent this guy from working to stunt inside, right? So this is the offensive lineman making the read for the back. As we work back a block, we can see the center working all the way across. Again, he is okay pushing that guy out this way. He is making the read for the back. We talk about this all the time. When backs and linemen get on the same page, it's really the lineman telling the back where to go. Hey, I'm not going to reach this guy. I'm going to shove him forward and you get behind me. I'm going to shove him play side. Same thing happening at the second level. We can see right here, we just get that block and we get that vertical cut. Now, two things that really make this work extremely well. First is the hardest block on this play is this one right here. It's, can we get inside this 4 or this 3, whatever you want to call them? Can the left tackle reach and zone cut off that guy? And obviously we got Trent Williams over here, who's one of the best in the league, one of the best the last 2 decades. He is able to get inside of that. You'll notice here he actually gives a little bit of ground and invites that guy up the field to shove him back down. He has to give ground in order to get to that guy's front shoulder, right? So our departure angles, while they all look similar from this back angle, they are somewhat nuanced. We can see him give ground relative to 65, right? 71 is giving ground to get around the defensive end, and then he's inviting him up the field so that this vertical cut becomes easier. When this guy flows flat down the line of scrimmage, meaning that, in this case, Fortec rolls flat down the line of scrimmage, that's what's going to blow up this play. So working those backside techniques and zone cutoffs, that's what makes zone offense really work. Okay. Second thing that's going to make this work is we can see how McCaffrey presses the front side, and as he cuts, he hugs the backs of these linemen, and he goes vertical. It's not cutback. People talk about, cutback on outside zone. It's not really cutback, and I've talked about this in other videos too, but we can see right now as he plants his foot, he's just inside the hash. As he goes vertical, he is still just inside the hash. This has been a dead vertical cut. Now, relative to the lineman, it looks like it's cut back a little bit, but it's not, because he knows we're getting lateral flow this way. If I go vertical to where they are now, lateral flow will take them out of the way. And I need to hug the backs of these players so that, and we're getting a good zone cutoff, but if we weren't getting such a good zone cutoff right now, as this begins to close, I'm not necessarily cutting back into these guys, right? It's understanding where the hole is going to open and anticipating what green grass is going to be available to me after I've made my cut, and that's why we get that nice vertical cut. Then once you're past the vertical cut and you're 4 or 5 yards downfield, now all bets are off. We can go this way, we can go that way. Now we're out in the open field and we can try to go make something work. So it's really the backside cutoff that's fantastic here. And it's just the pressure from the crafter to press the edge, make these guys all chase their gap, and now we can go vertical in behind it. Realistically, this outside zone gap, which was aimed and the cut was made on this hash, ended up behind the left guard. Right, that's where we ended up. We are behind the left guard on the opposite hash. We've got left guard making a block all the way over here, which is the zone that we get behind. So if you're looking for an offensive scheme that allows your offensive linemen to run and prevents defenders from being able to just play the game vertically and forcing them to chase a gap, this is what you want to do. And this is why outside zone has an appreciation for linemen that might be a little bit smaller but have athleticism and technique, because this is where that outside zone philosophy is going to pay off.